This horrid little creature is called a mole. Moles have two hobbies in life: eating worms and destroying your beautiful lawn. They are about the size of a large rat and spend most of their time underground. Its tunnel complex consists of an underground bunker, molehills, which look like mountains when they're in your lawn, and feeding runways. These runways run about an inch underneath the lawn, so when you step in them, they collapse. So effectively, they're little human traps. Let me show you a thinking outside of the box way of controlling the moles. That's going to be building a fence, only you're going to put it underground. We're going to make this fence out of galvanized chicken wire. It'll last decades underground, or at least it has in my backyard. The first thing you'll need to do is remove the sod. You need to cut the sod into manageable sized chunks. If you're feeling really energetic, go ahead and use a digging bar. If your energy level is not sitting so high, go ahead and resort to using your edger. Next, break out your trenching shovel. It's long and thin, so it gets under the grass very easily. Take a pair of leather gloves, fold them over, and tape them onto the end of the shovel to give you a cushion for pushing against. Use your palm against a leather glove that you put on the end of the shovel. Slide the blade underneath the grass and cut the roots. The grass will come right up. As you move the grass aside, try to come up with some system to remember how the grass goes back into the lawn. You're going to have to do this eventually. And if it takes you more than a day to do this project, make sure you keep the grass watered so it doesn't die while it's removed from your lawn. The next step is to remove the dirt. This process becomes much easier if you happen to have a small rototiller, but don't be surprised by the advertisements. The only time they're really easy to use is if you're actually rototilling sand or dirt that's already been rototilled. With most other types of dirt, it's like hanging onto a bucking bronco at a rodeo. And if you happen to hit a rock, that thing will become airborne. As far as how deep to dig, here I'm going down about 6 inches. But this is only because I use a lot of wood stakes on my lawn for putting up my yard art. In the backyard, I only went down about 4 inches. Just in case you're wondering why there's still grass in the background, I'm only doing half this lawn to keep the video short. I finished the other half later. Now that the dirt's gone, I'm going to put down a thin layer of sand. On top of the sand, I'll go ahead and lay out the chicken wire. Okay, I'll bite. What's the story with the sand? Well, the sand serves two purposes. The chicken wire will have sand on top and bottom, which will allow drainage so that water just doesn't sit on the wire and corrode it. It also acts as a releasing agent. It prevents dirt from getting packed into the wire, so when you want to remove the wire, a flat-bladed shovel just slides right across the top of the wire to remove the dirt. This part's really important. Wire all of the chicken wire pieces together so it's one continuous sheet. Those little guys sure are tricky. They'll find the opening. Speaking of openings, see that sprinkler head? That's a weak spot in your defenses. Make sure you take the wire right up to the pipe. And finally, when you get to the edge of your lawn, you need a barrier of some sort. Here you can see I ran the wire right up the side of a retaining wall block. In the backyard, I poured concrete edging right on top of the chicken wire. If you leave bare dirt like this between you and your neighbor's yard, well, remember this feeding runway we looked at earlier? The neighbor's mole could just dig that runway right into your yard as he laughs at your barrier. Once your chicken wire is installed, it's time to put the second layer of sand down. I was shooting for 1/2 inch above and 1/2 inch below. Remember all that dirt you removed earlier? Try to remember where you put it, then go get it and bring it back. Rake it smooth and tamp it in. While we're moving dirt, let me bring up a couple more points about this project. Underground utilities. Get a locate to find them before you start digging. I used to have cable television coming into the house. It was buried 1 inch below the sod. Now I don't have cable television coming into the house. Anyway, I was wondering if this chicken wire would affect a locating company's ability to locate underground utilities. I contacted 2 utility companies. One said, sure, we should be able to, and the other said, I haven't a clue. So, I don't know either. The other point, ask your neighbors how their water lines are. Have they failed recently? Currently, my neighborhood has about a 40% failure rate for water lines. So you may want to consider routing a spare water line to the house before you put the chicken wire down. That job will be much harder after you've mole-proofed your lawn. You want to temporarily put the grass back into place where it belongs. Hang in there, the end is near. I read that on some guy's sign in downtown Seattle. I wonder how he knew I was going to make this video. Now go back, pull up each piece of sod, and scrape the bottom of the sod to expose the roots of the grass, as well as making the sod the same thickness all the way across. And that's about it. Your lawn will now be mold-proof. Oh yeah, be sure you go back and give your lawn a nice healthy drink. It's had a long day. Thanks for watching.